10,000 Roman soldiers disappeared without a trace. No bodies, no graves, no survivors. But 17 years later, on the edge of ancient China, an army saw something impossible. They weren't ghosts, they were Romans.
Part 1. The man who started it all.
More than 2,000 years ago, Rome was rising. It was a republic hungry for power, hungry for land, hungry for glory. And one man wanted more than anyone else. His name was Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome. Gold filled his vaults. Power filled his mind. But there was one thing he didn't have: glory. Not like Julius Caesar, not like Pompey. So Crassus made a decision, a dangerous one. He would invade the East. He would conquer the powerful Parthian Empire, and he would become a legend.
Part 2. The disaster at Carrhae.
The Roman legions marched into the desert. Heavy armor, massive shields, perfect discipline. They believed nothing could stop them. But they were wrong. In 53 BC, near a place called Carrhae, Rome met an enemy it didn't understand. Fast horse archers, endless arrows, and a desert that showed no mercy. They raised their shields. They waited, but the arrows never stopped. Wave after wave, steel raining from the sky. Men fell, lines broke, hope vanished, and then their leader died. Crassus was killed. His army collapsed.
Part 3. The 10,000 who vanished.
Thousands of Romans died that day, but not all. Around 10,000 soldiers were captured, alive, taken by the Parthians, marched away into the unknown. And then they disappeared. No Roman record ever tells us where they went. No rescue mission was sent. No one came back. It was as if they had been erased from history.
Part 4. The Eastern Mystery.
17 years passed. Rome moved on. The lost legion became a forgotten memory. But far to the east, another empire was expanding. The mighty Han Dynasty. Their armies pushed into Central Asia, guarding borders, crushing enemies, expanding power. Then one day, their scouts saw something strange. Not nomads, not tribes, but soldiers. Moving like a machine, they stood shoulder to shoulder, shields locked together, front, side, above, like the scales of a fish.
Part 5. The Impossible Formation.
Chinese historians wrote about it. They called it a fish-scale formation. But today, we know it by another name, the Testudo Formation, the turtle, a formation used only by Roman legions, a formation designed for survival, protection from arrows, discipline under pressure, unity in chaos. So the question became terrifyingly real. Were these Romans?
Part 6. Rome vs. Han.
Imagine that battlefield. On one side, Roman survivors, far from home, fighting for survival. On the other, the armies of the Han, advanced, organized, deadly. The Romans relied on shields and short swords, close combat, relentless pressure. But the Han had something different. Crossbows, powerful, precise, deadly, at long range. Before Roman could strike, he could already be dead. This was not just a battle. It was a clash of civilizations. Iron versus technology. Discipline versus distance.
Part 7. The Village of Secrets.
But the story doesn't end in war. It ends in a village, a place called Lycian. For generations, people there looked different. Blue eyes, green eyes, sharp features. Not typical of the region. They told stories. Stories of ancestors from the West. Scientists later studied their DNA and found something unusual. Genetic traces linked to Europe.
Part 8. Truth or Legend.
So what really happened? Did the lost Roman legion march across Asia and build a new life in China? Or is this just a story, built from coincidence and imagination? Because history is full of mysteries, and sometimes the truth is more unbelievable than fiction. Subscribe to uncover the stories history tried to erase.